Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go ahead, put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording loud out here.
All right, folks, we have some fairly disturbing breaking news out of California. Donald Trump's aggressive war on free speech and free expression and public dissent just hit a major escalation point. At a public press conference conducted by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, a sitting United States Senator, Alex Padilla, who represents that state, California, was forcibly, violently shoved out of the room when he attempted to ask Kristi Noem questions about DHS's response to the Los Angeles protests and immigration policy. It was all caught on camera. It's a stunning, forcible, violent escalation of Trump's crackdown on free speech. And now he's targeting sitting United States senators. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Shocking stuff. This is everybody on Twitter is talking about it right now. This just dropped. Let's take a look at the footage, and I'll see you on the other side.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
I also want to
hands off.
how many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
I'm Senator Alex.
Stunning. Public press conference. Kristi Noem, sitting United States Senator, and they forcibly, violently throw him from the room and march him down the hallway, hands behind his back. Shocking stuff, shocking stuff. Let's take a look at an article from a local reporter on this, and then we'll get into Twitter's reaction. So, Los Angeles, video. Senator Alex Padilla removed from news conference with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a news conference Thursday morning with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Noem was speaking in Los Angeles about recent ICE operations in the region when Padilla was removed from the room after saying, quote, "You insist on exaggerating." At least two men approached Padilla, a Democrat, near a wall and removed him through doors near the rear of the room. Noem continued speaking to the room of reporters and law enforcement officers. In a hallway outside the room, Padilla told NBC LA, but we'll have plenty of time to take your questions after the press conference. Noem had been speaking on California and Los Angeles leadership moments before Padilla was removed. But we're not going away, Noem said before the disruption. Quote, we're going to liberate the city from the burdensome leadership, mayor, and governor. State and local leaders in California have been at odds with federal authorities about ICE raids and the federalization of both the National Guard and Marines in response to recent demonstrations over immigration enforcement operations. Padilla, born and raised in Los Angeles, was elected to the U.S. Senate in November 2022. He began serving in the Senate in January 2021 after he was appointed to a vacancy due to the election of Vice President Kamala Harris. The first Latino to represent California in the U.S. Senate, Padilla's family immigrated to Los Angeles from Mexico in the 1960s. So that is the latest development. Shocking. It really is. The Congressional Hispanic Caucus says this is unacceptable, full stop. Senator Alex Padilla attended an open press conference to engage in debate, to represent his state, to do his job. We demand a full investigation and consequences for every official involved in this assault against a sitting U.S. senator. Julie Tsirkin, I forget who she is with, the congressional correspondent at NBC News. A sitting Democratic senator physically pushed today after interrupting a DHS press conference in his state. Kristi Noem just said she will try to reach out to him, quote, and try to have a conversation. So yeah, let's take a look at the reactions on Twitter, okay? Refreshing the page. Holy shit, this is insane. That's from Brooklyn Dad Defiant. Again, Democratic Wins Media, Alex Padilla was just detained by Trump's agents for attending Kristi Noem's press conference. This is what dictatorship looks like. Make sure everyone sees this. A fact post, which is a Democratic-aligned Twitter account, says Padilla is forcibly shoved out of Kristi Noem's press briefing. Let's see. Keep scrolling. Harry Sisson, others, Ken Klippenstein, forcibly removed from Homeland Security's press conference, physically assaulted, removed from her presser and thrown to the ground and detained. They're not hiding the fascism anymore. Dragged out of Kristi Noem's press conference today when he showed up to speak. Governor Gavin Newsom responded. Senator Alex Padilla is one of the most decent people I know. This is outrageous, dictatorial, and shameful. Trump and his shock troops are out of control. This must end now. That's Governor Gavin Newsom of California. Let's see. Shocking. Ishar Ali forcibly removed and reportedly detained. Wow. Reportedly detained. Not just shoved from the room, but detained as well. Sam Stein of the Bulwark says already seeing calls on the right for Senator Alex Padilla to be deported because he disrupted an open press Kristi Noem event and refused to leave after being confronted by security. Wow. Mike Levin. Who's Mike Levin? Not sure who that is. Oh my God.
Hands good.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we have other footage.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, put them behind my back.
All right.
Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI regs.
No record. Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow, I didn't see that part. Alex Padilla was thrown to the ground and handcuffed after fighting with federal agents. And Kristi Noem's this is Nick Sordor. He's a MAGA stooge. He's defending this, calling it democratic terrorism. Holy shit. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this, but that's stunning. That's breaking news. Again, a sitting United States senator who represents the very state that Kristi Noem is in, attending an open press conference, a public press conference, asking questions. He identified himself. He didn't do anything threatening. I said, I'm Senator Alex Padilla of California. I've got questions for the secretary. And forcibly, violently removed, thrown to the ground, handcuffed. Stunning. Imagine what the reaction would be if this were, again, Alejandro Mayorkas, President Biden's Homeland Security Secretary, and this had been a Republican senator. And this occurred in a red state. Imagine if Biden's DHS had responded the same. Folks, when you take this and you combine it with all the other moves that Donald Trump is making against the free press, free speech, and yes, his political opponents, this is staggering, and it is extremely ominous and should be viciously called out in terms of rhetoric and in terms of, fury, in terms of backlash. We should be seeing some sort of response from every sitting Democrat and any principled conservative who cares about free speech and dissent in this country, because if the shoe were on the other foot, they would rightly not want this either. But it's shocking that they felt so empowered to manhandle somebody like that in public. Again, a sitting United States senator who had every right and reason to be there. I'll be interested to see what the additional response is, but this is not good, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments.